Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, Miss Black Expat. Now, how many of you have carried past hurts, pains, relationships, frustrations, decisions, fears, and you've done some things in your life? I mean, you've had some messy situations and you're ashamed of them. You feel that they were messy. You feel that you might have made some hasty choices. You feel that because of those decisions that your life is not necessarily where you want it to be. Maybe you feel embarrassed. Maybe you feel that you aren't worthy enough, that you're not valued, that you're not appreciated, that you're not loved. Let me stop you right there. All of those thoughts that I just said has run through my mind on more than one occasion. I mean, I used to beat myself up literally over some of the decisions that I would make or that I have made in my life. And I dealt with unforgiveness of self for so long. I think unforgiveness of self is even worse than non-forgiveness of others, because we carry that burden. It sits on our hearts. It sits in our spirits, and it eats us away, literally. And I had to come to a point in my life where I had to really, really look at myself and say, hey, I don't deserve the torment that I'm putting myself through because of the decisions that I have made in the past. That was my past. Yes, my past has happened. Yes, there are some decisions that I'm not proud of. I'm not happy that I made, but they have happened. And it's a part of my journey. It's a part of my story. It's a part of my life. And without those situations, I would not be where I am today. I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. I wouldn't be as wise as I am today. I wouldn't feel as encouraged as I am today. I wouldn't feel healed, and I wouldn't feel inspired to share my story with you. So I can think of so many different circumstances in my life where I felt ashamed or just so low. And I can even go back as far as when my son was born, or when I was actually pregnant with my son, and how much I desired to be married. I was so ashamed that I was pregnant. I mean, I wasn't a teenager. I was in my early 20s, but my life was going so great according to everybody else, and I slipped up and I got pregnant. And the condemnation that I received from friends, from family, from the world was very disheartening. And I carried a lot of that weight on my shoulders for a very long time. I beat myself up because of that. So I had to learn to let all of that stuff go, that mental chatter. So moving forward, after my son was born, then there was just a spiral of things that were continuously happening, because the ultimate foundation was that I did not love myself. I didn't know what self-love meant. I didn't know what self-worth meant. I didn't know the value of my life. I didn't know the value of who I was, and I didn't know God. I didn't know God's weight in my life. And so there was so many things that I allowed to influence me in my decisions. And I can say, even as a single mom, a lot of that had to do with bad relationships, hooking up with the wrong type of men, compromising my body, compromising who I was to try to please someone else, settling for way less than I deserved, putting other people before I put myself, and hurting all the time and not knowing how to resolve that hurt. I kept covering it up with band-aids and band-aids and band-aids on top of band-aids because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know who else to reach out to. I didn't know how to love myself. So as the years went through, and thank God for being a revelation in my life, for him coming into my life, for me getting resaved, for me getting myself back into the church, into the word, and receiving the Holy Spirit, I started to have a lot of revelations about myself. I started to really get to know me. I started to want to reach out and to discover me and to embrace my truths, my well-being, and embracing all of my scars, all of my pains, all of my decisions, all of my fears, every single choice that I made, and embrace it. Embracing it with love. Embracing it with love to say that, hey, yes, I may have made that decision to have sex before marriage. Okay? So if God chooses to forgive us, why can't we learn to forgive ourselves? It's not easy. We cover our wounds. We cover our scars. We cover our brokenness with Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid. We cover our pain on relationship on top of relationship on top of relationship. Every sexual encounter, every romantic encounter, that pain is compounding on top of each other. And we're not giving ourselves a chance to heal. And so we try to cover that pain because we're hiding from something. We're hiding from some truth. So what I had to do was totally disengage myself from things that I felt were toxic to my life. And if that meant being single for a long time, if that meant being celibate for a long time, if it meant letting some friends go, letting some music go, letting some lifestyle choices go, I had to do what I needed to do in order to get my life in a better place. So thank God that I was able to see that and use all of those past experiences through my healing process, to help me see that I am worthy, that I am valuable, that I had to go through those things to just see how much I am worth it, that I don't have to subject myself to pain, to fear, to compromise, to settling, to brokenness all of my life. That is not where I'm supposed to be stuck. The devil is a lie, and that is not where you're supposed to be stuck. Don't be ashamed of your past. Embrace your past. Learn from your past. Grow from your past. Use those past hurts, those mistakes, those decisions to help you grow in this next season of your life. To know what not to do, not what to get yourself into, who to stay away from. Those experiences are there to teach you a lesson. And it can also be for healing. What person's life are you going to touch because of your testimony, because of your story? You have an amazing story to tell. Get on YouTube. Share your testimony. Don't be ashamed of your past. Write a blog post. Actually, I wrote a blog post that was inspired by this video, and I'm going to include the link below. Make sure to subscribe to my website. Please support me. I enjoy writing, and I've been trying to be more consistent with my blogging as well. So please support me in that. And I'm excited. I'm excited for life. I had to take on a new zeal for life. I had to take on a new love for myself and get excited because I have the opportunity to take those hurts, those pains, those confusions, everything for years that I used to think that I was doomed and that I was headed for nowhere. Now I have the opportunity to take all of that and transform it into healing opportunities, into my blogs, into my videos, into my life work, into my purpose. And you have that same opportunity. Don't let the devil confuse you. Don't let him make you feel that everything that you've gone through has made you a disgrace and that you're a mess, because you are not a mess. You are beautiful and wonderfully made. And you are God's creation. Psalms 135:4. Read it. It was on my heart to share with you. Do not be ashamed of your past. Do not be ashamed of your past. You went through all of that for a reason. You made those decisions to sleep with that dude for a reason. But that same episode of you sleeping with that guy has taught you something. You learned something from that. It might have been full of pleasure then, but now that you are moving into a new season in your life, you see things differently. And maybe if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be where you are today. You wouldn't be as wise. You wouldn't be as insightful. You wouldn't be as encouraged to do better for you. So keep on moving, keep on doing you, keep on thriving, keep on self-discovering, keep on loving, and keep on embracing you. And remember, you should not be ashamed of your past, but embrace it with all love, with all honesty. Love you much. Thank you for watching. Be blessed.